Hey guys, what's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Let your friends know if they're struggling or they just want support or they're on medically assisted treatment and they don't feel like they fit in. Tell them to come over to the channel and hang out with us. The more the merrier. So, I was going to go live tonight, y'all, at 8. But Neil is off work and we're upstairs and we're fixing to watch a movie. So I said, hey, wait, don't put the movie on. Hey girl, wait an hour and let me go downstairs and talk to my people. So this is going to be the nighttime meeting like we usually do at 8. Hey Michelle, we're going to do it right now, okay? So as you can see, the topic of the title of the video is how to surrender, believe, and take action in recovery. So yesterday we were talking about steps 1 and 2, you guys, and I was breaking it down for you, kind of letting you know that in step 1 you surrender. Hey Bobby. And in step 2 you're coming to believe. If you can just come to believe that I believe that you can get sober, then you can do it, right? Hey, holla at your boy. And so that's the first. Those are the first 2 steps. You know, surrendering, admitting we're powerless, and coming to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity. And whatever power you choose, that is specific to you. And you know, that's how you're going to build your own spiritual journey, and that's how you're going to become one, and you're going to be able to connect, okay? Because one thing that we didn't do when we were in active addiction is connect, right? When we were in active addiction, oh, shit, the only thing I connected with was my dope man, right? Hey, Ellie. Hey, girl. I'm so glad you're over here. How are you feeling? Did you get your teeth? Did you get your dentist thing done? So when we first start out at the beginning, right? Well, girl, I called you yesterday, but you didn't answer. So I was giving you a break, and I figured I'd get you in the morning tomorrow when I'm at work. Because that's when I can get on, you know, I can sit there and I can do cards and we can chat. So if you want to, we'll talk in the morning, okay? So steps 1 and 2, you guys. We surrender, right? And then, oh yeah, girl, remember I called you, not today, Satan, not today. I think it was yesterday, Chrissy, for real. Was it last night or yesterday morning? I can't remember. I'll look on my phone. If not, I'll text you, okay? So, not today, Satan. That's right. So, when we do steps 1 and 2, you guys, we're surrendering in step 1. And then in step 2, we're coming to believe, okay? And like I was talking about yesterday, I know for some of us, especially when we're first getting sober, it's hard to believe in a power greater than ourselves, right? And so that's why yesterday we were breaking it down and I was explaining to you guys that a power greater than you can be any power greater than you, right? And if you'll just believe that I believe, that your sponsor believes, that your husband believes, that your kids believe, that your family believes that you can do this, that you can get sober. Because what we got to do is we got to start changing our negative thinking and the way we talk down to ourselves. Because that's what we've done for so many years in active addiction, is talk down to ourselves, right? And so when we start working the steps, you guys, we're shifting our perception. We're shifting how we talk to ourselves. So what I wanted to do with you guys tonight is I wanted to talk to you guys about action, okay? About taking action. And for me, taking action was probably, okay, so you know how you can talk about doing something forever, right? I don't know about you guys, but I'm like really good about talking about how I want to lose weight. Or back in the day, I used to talk about, hey Richard, how I wanted to get sober all the time. But I would never take the action and just pull the trigger and do it, right? And so I want to share with you guys, like, yeah, it's so easy, you guys, because it's like, here's the thing. It's like it's hard to get out of your comfort zone. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I was first trying to find my way, I was scared. I was scared, and I felt uncomfortable, you know? And so that's what you're doing whenever you're... Doesn't she sound the same on here as on the phone? Yeah. That's what we're doing, is we're stepping outside of our comfort zone when we take action. Because a lot of us are procrastinators. I don't know about you, but I can put it off and put it off and put it off. I'm telling you, this freaking Wi-Fi is about to piss me off, y'all. Richard, you're still in my Hangouts, the Recovery Warriors Hangouts, right? So, procrastinating is one of the things that I always did when I was in active addiction, you guys. Like, it was just something that, like, I think it was because I was afraid to fail. Do you guys, can y'all relate to that? I was afraid that I was gonna fail because I felt like I failed all the time, right? Okay, good. I felt like I failed all the time, you guys. But the thing about it is, I wasn't failing. You know why I wasn't failing? Because I was never giving it my all. I was never truly taking the action and taking the suggestions that were given to me wholeheartedly, right? Think about it. I want you guys to think about times that you've tried to get sober, and you didn't succeed. I want you to look back to all the things that you were told to do, all the suggestions that you were given, and I want you to say, did you try? Did you truly give it your all? Did you truly do everything that was suggested of you? Or did you just pick out little things, right? Did you just pick out, well, she says I need to get a sponsor and go to these meetings. Forget the sponsor. I'll just go to the meetings. Or she says I need to get into treatment. I'll just go to the meetings. I don't need treatment. She says I don't need to go to the bar anymore and drink wine. Oh, come on. Just a little wine here and there. Okay? And that's what our addiction tells us. Our addiction is so cunning, baffling, and powerful. It literally has our brains warped to think that we can just do our way. But, okay, so if we line up all the things that we've done in our lives over our addiction, right? If we put the evidence out on the table, okay, let's look at the evidence. What does our past actions show us, right? My past actions show me that every time I try to do just one, every time I only take half the suggestion and put my own spin on it, what happens? Your girl gets fucked up. Every single time. I remember quick story time. I remember I had gotten out of treatment. I had went to RCA here in Little Rock. And I got a sponsor. Her name was Robin. Robin was she had smoked crack and did a lot of cocaine in her day. She was a lot lizard, but a reformed lot lizard. She wasn't doing it anymore. She was sober. She had 6 years sober, I remember. And she started working me through the steps, and we started out on step 1. And I remember I got to my step 4 with her, you guys. I was chairing the meetings. I was a secretary at our home group. I was doing it. I was going to my meetings. I was listening to what she was saying. I was calling her every day. And then we got to that damn 4th step. And I wrote out all of it. I mean, I wrote a whole novel. I wrote out a whole yellow legal pad full of my whole story, right? Because the way she had me do a 4-step, she had me do a case history. And here where I live, sponsors will either have you do a case history, or they'll have you do it like straight out of the book, which is the columns, right? Which I prefer the columns. Like when I do it with people, it's the columns. Because when you do it and you write out your whole story, it's very overwhelming, right? So that's what happened. I got done writing it. Took me, you know how long it took me? 3 months to write it and get finished. Because I was dragging my ass, right? So I wrote down all these things, all the things that bothered me, all the things that I had done in my addiction, all the things that had happened to me as a young girl that really just sat with me that I remembered, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly. And we met to go over it. We went over it, but you know what I did? She had told me, there's this part in the big book, it talks about when you're writing your 4th step, that you have to illuminate every dark corner. You have to get rid of all the secrets, right? None of the secrets can stay, because if the secrets stay, those are secrets will keep us sick, and we will drink or drug again. I mean, so what it's saying is if you're withholding that information and that resentment inside of you, and you're not like putting the light on it and getting it out, and you stick that one back in your pocket for later, that's a resentment. That's a relapse waiting to happen. Well, I didn't write down my whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God, right? And I only wrote down what I wanted her to hear. And I ended up relapsing because I only did it my way. I only did what I wanted to tell. I didn't tell the whole truth, right? I was still afraid that if I told her everything, she was going to judge me, right? Or maybe I just had a reservation, and I got out of prison, and I think I was like kind of still wanting to get high, you know? But the whole point of it is I was doing it my way still. I was still thinking that my way would work. And you guys, for me, I'm the kind of person that has to learn from my experiences. So I have to fail over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until that shit gets knocked into my thick ass skull, right? So I failed at trying to get sober so many times, right? Hey, Cherry Pie. So but the thing about it is, it was because, yeah, knock a tooth out, right, Elle? It was because I was only doing things halfway, right? I wasn't giving it my all. I wasn't taking those suggestions that were being given to me. And I was just, y'all, I'm telling you, I wasn't taking it full-heartedly. Hey, Deb. So it was disappointing, you guys, to look back on my life in the past. Now that I'm sober and I can see, right? Now that I'm sober and I can see, I'm reading it. All I see is, y'all be careful. It's Debbie. Please read. That's all I see, baby. So it was like, I kept on going back on that old behavior, right? And it was just, if I had just taken the suggestions that were given to me, I have no idea what you're talking about. About what guy? Debbie, message me. Just text message me. So anyway, what was I saying? Okay, taking suggestions. I'm sorry, guys. You know how I am with comments when I read them and they're not on topic. I get thrown off a little bit, y'all. So taking the suggestions that were given to me, you guys, was really difficult for me in the beginning because I still thought that I still thought that I could handle everything on my own. I still thought that it was like a delusion. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And you'll understand. And I know a lot of you guys who are still in active addiction understand what I'm talking about. And I know a lot of you understand who have just gotten out of active addiction, and you can look back and you can remember when your addiction and when those delusions were telling you that you could do this on your own. Oh, I've got this, you know, I can do this. But what happens for me, and what I think happens for everybody, is so many times of us thinking we got this, and then we fall back, right? And that's when you start getting disappointed and you start getting down on yourself and you start thinking that you're a failure. And that's not what it is. It's not that you're a failure. It's not that you're not good enough. It's not that you can't do it, you guys. You know what it is? It's that we weren't giving it 110%. It's that we weren't taking the suggestions. We weren't fully taking the suggestions, right? It's kind of like when you take a test at school or you have a test the next day and you were supposed to study the night before, right? but you don't study for the test. You only study for part of it. So you flunk the whole second half. That's what we were doing, right? We weren't studying for our test. We weren't getting all the tools we needed and building, our self-confidence, building our coping skills, building our security, learning about the disease of addiction. All these things are things that we got to do, to get our lives back in order. Because a lot of us, while we were in active addiction, the behaviors that we practiced during active addiction, you guys, those are learned behaviors. None of us were born knowing how to smoke dope, or knowing how to pop pills, or knowing how to shoot dope, right? None of us were born knowing how to do any of that. So we learned those behaviors over time. So just like you learned how to do drugs and alcohol, now what we have to do is we have to learn how to get sober. We have to learn how to live our lives in recovery. Me, Neil, and Nate, today I got home from work and I made my healthy lunch. Y'all saw it, the tilapia and mushrooms over a bed of greens. I'm so proud of myself. Y'all don't even understand. And then we went and picked Nate up from school, and then we went walking, and we went to the dog park. I posted it on my channel so y'all could see us running around and see all the dogs. It's so pretty here right now, you guys. It's like the best time of year right now, because in about 4 weeks, it's going to be 110 degrees here. I know. Let the woman know. Okay, girl, I'll look at it. I'm so sorry. I'm like, what is going on? You're scaring me. But you know what I'll do? I'll look it up and I will let her know right away. Because, y'all know how I am. I'm not trying to I don't want to hurt nobody. So Chrissy brings up a good point, you guys. She says that the behaviors are ingrained in her so deep that she doesn't know any other way, right? So here, girl, I felt the same way. I was the same way, right? Hey, Robbie. Thanks, man. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate you. Dude, listen to this, Robbie, real quick. Everyone is doing your challenge. Like it's reaching over to the recovery channels. So I shared my friend Nick's channel over on my community tab, and he was talking about it on his channel. So now it's going into the recovery community channel. So that's really cool. Anyway, I just thought I'd tell you that. So when you have those behaviors, I think it's so awesome, Robbie, what you did. And it really inspired me because, listen, you guys, real quick, I'm going to get off topic for a second. When I made my channel, it was because I needed support and I just wanted to help other people. I never meant to hurt anybody. I never meant to be negative on my channel. I never meant to get involved in drama, you guys. I never meant to hurt anybody. I just want to help other people. So that Save Robbie challenge is a challenge, you guys, that we're doing, and we're talking about creators that maybe we've had negative interactions with, maybe we've had beef, maybe it's just somebody that you don't really know that good, and you want to shout them out and make a video to let other people know that, you care about them and they're not bad people, Thanks, Cherry Pie. Thanks, girl. Thanks, Debbie. And I want you guys to know, like, those were never my intentions to hurt anyone. Like, I just believe so firmly in what I believe in, and sometimes I get very passionate about things, and I will go hard for what I believe, and it's just because I have been burned before. I have been burned by other people before, you guys. And, I left Facebook because it had just gotten to a point where everyone was just trying to make money. And all the recovery advocates were just trying to, sell you a recovery program, right? And it was just like, an ad. It was like a commercial, you know, and that's not what my channel is about. Like, that's why I do these meetings where we can learn together and I can share with you what I have learned. Do I always, listen, this is where I'm getting real with y'all here, okay? Do I always go by everything that I know I need to do? Heck no. I'm human. I fail all the time. All the time. But I work so hard on looking back at my behaviors every single night. And this is how serious it is. I left a comment on a video the other day about somebody, and it wasn't a bad comment, but it was just probably not a comment I should have left, right? And this is how I am at night, you guys. I go over. Debbie, I didn't know that was you. Hold on, girl. Let me fix this. That Debbie. That's all you had to say, girl. You should have said cray cray. Then I would have known who you was talking about. Okay, bitch. There you go. You're unblocked now. I think what had happened is you came in one night and it was like, I think you were saying, I don't know what words you were using, but what I have is a filter set up on my thing to where you put in certain words, it blocks them. So you're okay, girl. You're back on track now. You should be okay. So it's all good. Don't even worry about it. I just want you to know that, listen, you guys, I never want to hurt anyone, okay? Like, I just want us to get sober. I just want people who are struggling to find support. I just want you, listen, I respect each person's personal journey. I know not all of us are going to get sober through abstinence. I know not all of us are going to get sober through medically assisted treatment. And I know some of us are going to be on medications for the rest of our lives. And that is okay. What I want for you and what I want for me is for us to live healthy, happy lives. I want us to be productive members of society. I want us to be able to be present with our kids and our families, right? That's what I want, you guys. I don't want you guys to, do recovery my way. I want you to find what works for you. And that's what I've had to do, is find what works for me. And I think that's kind of what's put me in the position I'm in. Because when I first started speaking about being on medically assisted treatment, I really got a lot of judgment, you guys. It felt awful and it hurt really bad. It really hurt for people to tell me that I wasn't sober. It really hurt for people to tell me that I had no business sharing because I wasn't even in recovery, right? That really hurt me. Hey, okay, Jessie, see you later, girl. And when that happened to me, I learned, you guys, that judging other people's recovery, that's not how I want to be. Because people did it to me. And I didn't like the way it felt. It doesn't feel good when someone else is pointing something out about you that you feel like was one of the best decisions you ever made. Getting on Suboxone, you guys, was one of the best things I've ever done in my life. I've never in my life been on track this long. 4 years, you guys, and I haven't drank or drugged. And I spent 15 years of my life in active addiction. 15 years, that's a long time, you guys. And it would have been even longer if I hadn't have gotten put on Suboxone. So I know that when I talk, I have a strong way of speaking. I know that I am a very polarizing person. You're either going to like me or you're not going to like me, right? But I want even the people who don't like me to know that my intentions are only to help y'all. And I'm only trying to spread a message that you can get sober and you can find the way that works for you. That's why I try to incorporate different programs and I try to talk about pieces of this, pieces of that. A lot of the things that I share with you guys are just things that I've learned from going through them. right? Like, I've had to learn how to change my behaviors, right? I didn't get electroshock therapy or, anything like that. Like, I had to learn how to not call the dope man anymore. I had to learn how to, not steal when I went to Walmart. These are all things that I've had to learn over time because I had practiced them for so long. So, I just want you guys to know that. I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but now that we're back on track, action, action, action. Let's do this. So, when we first get sober, you guys, it's kind of like, okay, now what am I going to do? Like, I don't have this substance to rely on anymore. I don't have this drug to grab and pump my body, right? Pump myself full of dope, right? To pass out or to feel better or to, be skinny or to have energy, right? So when we get sober, what do we got to do? Okay. Well, we can't just sit there and twiddle our thumbs, because the thing about it is, y'all, boredom is a trigger for so many addicts. I mean, every person I've ever asked, does boredom trigger you? They're like, yes. Because you know what? What happens when we're just sitting at home and we're like thinking about, that's exactly what happens. Yeah. Chris, are you serious? Well, you took action, didn't you, girl? That's what happens, you guys, whenever we're sitting at home and we're bored, is these thoughts start going in our mind. And that's exactly what happens. Thinking happens. Overthinking happens. Overanalyzing happens, right? Girl, I know. Listen, sister, I know. And when we're on substances, you guys, it gives us this invisible feeling. So we're just running into the Walmarts, running right out, right? I mean, I know I was the same way, girl. I would run in and run out and be like, deuces. So when we get sober, you guys, we have to take action, right? We have to take action. We have to start like reaching out to our sober support. We have to start trying to do something different. So here's the thing. If what you do in your active addiction is sit at your house all day and be lonely, then you know what you need to do? We need to do the opposite of that. So let's start trying to get out, right? Let's start trying to go and meet some sober friends. Let's start going to the gym. Let's start going out on walks in the sunshine, right? If you have a job that you really enjoy doing and you're really good at it and you're passionate about that, you know what I mean? Talk with your job. Tell them, hey, I'm going through some stuff and I would love to be able to come and help you guys out, some extra, if that's something you can do. But I'm telling you right now, I want you guys to have a sober support, someone that you can contact no matter what time of day it is. I know you're not joking, Chrissy. It's okay, girl. We're going to get through that. Listen, girl, it is what it is, okay? When we're going through the struggle, you guys, and that's why, no shame, no shame. I'm glad you were honest about it, okay, girl? I'm glad you were honest about it, because what happens is when we're going out and we're doing stuff like that and we keep it a secret, then we think we're getting away with it, right? Okay, you might have gotten away with it and not gotten caught by the police, but what you're doing is you're telling on your disease. Okay, because your addiction wants you to go out and steal stuff. Your addiction wants you to lie, cheat, steal, and hide, right? Hey, Rob. But what recovery wants is honesty, right? Willingness, action. That's what we have to, in our recovery, we have to change from the opposite of the things that we do in active addiction. So what's happening is it's a transition period, you guys. When you're getting sober, it's hard, okay? You're not going to just stop stealing, okay? If you were a kleptomaniac like I was, I had to learn how to stop stealing, okay? Because it was second nature to me, okay? I would just, I'm sorry, you guys. It's just the truth. Girl, there is no shame, because you know what, you guys, I can't tell you how many times I went in. Let me tell y'all a quick story. Y'all are gonna laugh, okay? I think I've told this to you guys before, but I think I have some new people on here. So I had spent the night with my friends and we had been up all night taking Xanax and doing meth, okay? And I would always do meth, and then take Xanax to come down, right? So that morning we drove back into town, and I decided I was going to stop off at the Walmart. So I stopped off at the Walmart, and I had on a nice, fresh, new pair of Nike shoes, y'all. They were real pretty. And I went to the Walmart, and I went back there to the shoe section, right? And I was like, you know what? I like them $1 flip-flops right there. I took off those fresh new Nikes, and I stuck them in the box, right? And I put my flip-flops, right? And I walked out the front door, and lo and behold, bam! They stopped me at the front door. Ma'am, and they had the box of my Nikes. And the guy stopped me, and he goes, what were you thinking? These are brand new Nikes. And I was just like, I wanted these dollar flip-flops, right? It's okay, girl. Don't worry. Elle was not trying to be mean. She was seriously, she's not like that. She was just that she really thought you was joking. We all have done that. It's okay. So Amy says, it's okay, Gold Dust. I'll admit, I ran out of the meds my doctor gave me to last until the 16th. I ran out in a week. I stole drugs today. I have an appointment tomorrow for a treatment center. Oh my God, Amy, I'm so proud of you. And I'm so glad that you felt comfortable enough to come in here and talk about that. Because here's the thing, okay? When you get to that point and you're desperate and you've run out of the medication that you take, that happens, right? I've totally been there. And I'm so excited for you that you reached out to the treatment center. Because here's the thing. Sometimes we just need a little bit of extra help. You know, sometimes we need to go in and like get away from everything, you know? And especially when you're struggling with taking your medication as prescribed, okay? I've been through it. I can relate. When I first got on medically assisted treatment, I really struggled with taking my dose correctly, okay? And I would run out, and my doctor would call me in for counts, and I kept getting caught, right? And so what they would do to help me get back on track was they would bump me back to where I was having to come in weekly and have my medicine counted. And that started that accountability with me. So I don't know if that's something that they do for you where you live, but those are also things that can help you, you know, to get your accountability going. Because it's totally normal for a drug addict to abuse their medication, just so you know. I mean, that's what we do, right? So I had to learn how to take my medication as prescribed. And in order for me to do that, it was almost like I had to have somebody holding it for me. So my doctor's office had me coming in weekly, right? And that really, really helped me. And now, listen to this, girl. Now, I'm on it. Sometimes I don't even have to take my whole dose. And that's a miracle, because I used to take over the amount. You know, so I want you to know, if I can get on track and I can take my medicine as prescribed, I promise you, you can get there too. I promise you. Okay? It is okay. I just don't want any of you guys to die or relapse and not make it. And that's what really, really scares me the most. You know, it scares me because I know how the drugs are out there now. I know that, you know, people are just mixing stuff together and giving it to you, and it could kill you. And that is my biggest fear, is that, you know, I'll come on my channel and then somebody will comment and say, well, where's so-and-so? And then I'll go looking for so-and-so, and then I'll find out so-and-so is not with us anymore, you know? And that's happened to me, but not since I've started my channel. And I don't want it to happen. And that's why I'm always telling you guys, like, if you need to talk, you can email me. Like, I really do, guys. I try to make sure I respond to all you guys. I don't think I've ever not responded to anybody. I really try, even if it's just text messaging, you know, at least we get to contact with each other and just say, hey, what's going on? You know, with Chrissy, me and Chrissy have been talking, you know, and that's a way for me to have support too. And it helps me to be able to talk, right? And so you guys are not alone. Like, I just want you to know that, you know, stealing or overtaking medication or stealing drugs, these are all regular things that we do in active addiction. Maybe some of us didn't do those things, but I know I did. So you ain't got nothing to worry about over here. There's nothing that you can say that'll surprise me. Okay? Nothing. Nothing. Try me. That's all I got to say about that. Nothing you could say that's going to surprise me. I've been there. I've been there. So, I think what happens for a lot of us, you guys, and Amy, correct me if I'm wrong, you just gotten to that point where you're like, I need help. And you know what? Isn't that a great way to feel? Because it's like, I don't have to do this alone anymore. I love you too. I don't have to do this alone anymore. You can throw up your hands now, girl. You're ready to surrender. This is the best place you could be. You hear me? This is the best place you could be. This is the gift of desperation. You are desperate. You are ready. You are saying, I need help. I'm going to get me some help. You know, oh gosh, it is like the best place for you to be. It might not feel like it right now. It might feel like it's the worst place, right? But think about it. 11 years you've been doing this, girl. 11 years you've been trying to go back and forth and do it on your own, right? And it's like, finally, what is it? What's different now that wasn't different then? You know, what has changed for you that made you think I need to get extra help? That's what I want to know. I know for me, when you guys know what happened to me, my son being taken from me was the icing on the cake for me, you guys. That really, really catapulted me into changing and into making different, you know, taking different actions. Like, right, not just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, you know? And I also think that when our minds start clearing a little bit and we can see how we've been repeatedly doing the same thing over again and it's like not working, it's like any sane, logical person, right? That's awesome. So Amy says she has a boyfriend who she's been with for 4 years who has helped her realize that there is hope for the future. And you know what, Amy? Sometimes that's all we need is someone to just love us until we can love ourselves, right? And that gives us the strength to want to change because we're like, you know what? That's how it was for me with my son. Girl, that love I felt from my son, unconditional love. He's going to love me no matter what. That woke me up. It was like, I can do this. I can have a better life. There's something I have to look forward to, and that's being a mom. You know what I mean? That's what's changed everything for me, is being able to look forward to that, you know? And I feel like maybe that's what's going on for you. You have something to look forward to, and sometimes that's all we need, you know? Exactly, and it's a motivation, right? My son was motivation for me. I joke around and I say it's like hanging a carrot in front of a rabbit's little nose. You want this? You want this? Well, come on, you know? And that helped me. That was what I had to have happen. And I'm not joking. Like, listen, having my son taken away was brutal. It was serious. But that was what I needed to motivate me to change my life, you guys. And every one of our situations are so different. Each thing, you guys, each person's motivation is going to be different. Like what's motivated me might not motivate the next person. What motivates, you know, Amy might not motivate me. It's all different for everyone, you know. But when you get to that point and you're ready and you're willing and you're going to do this damn thing, I'm telling you what, it might be a little scary, you know, because it's the fear of the unknown, right? But let me just tell you, your life is going to get so much better. You have nowhere else to go but up from here. And I promise you, if you just stick it out, follow the suggestions of the people that are trying to help you stay sober, you're going to do so much better. Your life will be 10 times better. Believe that. When I was in the middle of my addiction and in the beginning of my sobriety, I never thought that my life would be better. I never thought that I would be able to sit here and share with you guys about my past and not be ashamed. I never thought that I could come on here and have people who actually wanted to sit here and learn with me and practice with me, right? That's right, Amy. And that's all it is fear. It's just the fear of the unknown, girl, because you're so used to practicing those old bad habits, right? So now it's all new. But I'm telling you, once the weight of those drugs, those secrets, that trauma, all the abandonment, the hurt, the sorrow is lifted, and you can hand those burdens onto somebody else to carry with you. Because that's all this is. Someone else is going to help you carry that shit, girl. You ain't got to do this alone no more. That's what this is all about. You don't have to carry that fucking shit by yourself anymore. And that's how you're going to feel. It's going to be like, oh, I can breathe now. I can breathe. I can't wait to hear about how it goes for you. I cannot wait, because I just know that everything is going to work out. I know that God is going to keep his hand of protection over you, girl. And as long as you're making the right choice, as long as you're doing the next right thing, everything's going to work out. I'm telling you, I'm serious as a heart attack. I thought when people said that, oh, just do the next right thing, right? Everything will work out. I would think they were full of shit, right? It's true. As long as I'm doing the right thing, everything always ends up being okay, you guys. Always. Always. It's crazy. It's crazy. But when you're doing God's will, good things happen for you. Thank you, everyone in the call. Yes, please update me tomorrow, Amy. And if you need help with anything, just email me at demeon@yahoo.com, okay? It's in the About Me section of my channel. But this is a really good meeting tonight, you guys. I really, really, really enjoyed talking with all of you. I'm so glad that you guys felt comfortable to come in here and share. I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of all of you. Just don't give up. Just keep on keeping on. Keep pushing forward, okay? You can do this, but you've got to have help. You got to reach out for help. So don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed, okay? Don't even worry about it. Just reach out. If you reach out, I'm reaching down, and I'll pull you up, okay? So let's do this. We can do this, you guys, together. That's how we're going to do it. Together, we can do this. So, I love you guys. I shared a video, like I said, over in the community tab from Nick, and he has a channel too. It's about recovery. So, if some of my girls and guys want to go check it out, I don't think you guys know about him. He's got a smaller channel. I think y'all will like it. He usually uploads videos in the morning, and it's a great way to start your morning. So, I'm going to get off here and go upstairs. Chrissy, I'm going to text you. Elle, I'm going to text you. And